Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my Halloween marathon. I guess I'll consider this a bonus review since this isn't really slated on any particular day, but I just got out of the theater after I saw Terrifier 3, and considering that I got other plans today, I decided that I'd just review it right here in my car. So getting right down to business, like I loved this movie. I love the fact that it's another Terrifier movie. I love seeing Art the Clown. Funny enough, this was I saw this just a week after, 2 weeks after I saw David Howard Thornton and Damien Leone at Nightmare Weekend. So that was always fun. So I had to wear my best, and I'm wearing my Art Crispy shirt right now. I love the fact that this is a Christmas film, because this might surprise some people, but like my favorite holiday after Halloween is Christmas, and I love Christmas horror movies because there's not a lot of them out there. But I loved that Terrifier 3 took place on Christmas, and the whole promotional material had Art dressed up as Santa Claus. I do think that, I do kind of wish that Art spent more time dressed up as Santa, because I feel like a huge chunk of the movie, there was a big chunk where he was dressed up as Santa, but I kind of was hoping that he would be like dressed up as Santa a little bit more, because I feel like over half of the runtime, he was in his usual, white and black suit. And, even more, a little bit towards the end, he kind of ditched the Santa outfit. And he still wore the Santa hat, but he still had his, white and black costume. And, well, because it took place on Christmas, and it was sort of like a Christmas horror movie, I kind of wish that he was dressed up as Santa for a little bit longer. But that's just me. Speaking of Art, David Howard Thornton does great as Art the Clown. I wasn't the only one in the theater who, basically any depraved act that he did in the film, he had this, really comedic, attitude and, little, tics with his body language that just made me and a few others in the theater laugh out loud, even while he was killing somebody. Because that it kind of reminds me of this one conversation from the video game Batman Arkham City, which, and bear with me on this, where one of the Joker's thugs is talking to his friends, and he says, I'd rather work for the Joker than the Penguin, because Joker has charisma. He can make you, laugh, cry, and scream, all at the same time. And I feel like that's basically what Art the Clown is to a lot of people watching. He can do the most depraved, disgusting, messed up acts, and he just does it in a way that has, this weird glee to it that just makes people chuckle at how physically comedic he's portrayed to be. The way he gets his Santa suit is he finds a Santa actor, obviously, and the way he is jumping for joy, clapping his hands, and just having just really big eyes when he meets Santa, it comes off like he is a huge fan of Santa Claus, right? And even up until the point where Art does something that basically makes the Santa not like him anymore, he has this childlike glee as just being around the guy. And I just thought that was cool. Opposite of Art the Clown, the survivors Sienna, Jonathan, they're played well, especially Sienna, who her whole arc in the movie is like going through PTSD, survivor's guilt, and like having panic attacks. I thought that those were portrayed like very well. Like I've fortunately never had to go through any of that, but from what was shown on screen, I thought that it was like very well acted. Jonathan, unfortunately, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but like he's not all that present in the film, and like I don't know if that's because the actor didn't want to do it anymore, or if he was just like written to not be in the film all that much. But his absence for a lot of the film was kind of noticeable. I don't think it hindered the movie, but I do kind of, I was kind of hoping that he would have stayed like a more prominent role like he was in the previous film. The camera work, the FX, the music is all great. What I said about Jonathan, the same with the character Victoria, who was in the very first film and came back for like a post-credit scene in the second. She has a little bit more of a prominent role in the second film, but like not all that much. I don't know if this is completely accurate, but she kind of like bookends the film, kind of. Even though she is given more stuff to do, so that was a nice change of pace to see. There's really not a lot more I can say. I do think that that Terrifier 3, like in terms of kills, it didn't necessarily top like the kills in Terrifier 2. There was one particular scene that I do think was almost on par with the kills in Terrifier 2, especially like the bedroom scene with Allie, but I do not think that they were topped, unfortunately. That and I also saw all these articles claiming that people walked out, they were vomiting. As I was saying, I saw these articles about how people were walking out of theaters, they were vomiting. Apparently, I think I heard a story about how the movie lost its like big Hollywood funding because of like a controversial opening scene, and I really don't understand why. I mean, if people were actually walking out and vomiting, then clearly they do not know the reputation of the Terrifier franchise, to which it makes me wonder, why are you watching the third one to begin with if you haven't seen the first two? As for like losing the Hollywood funding for the, again, controversial opening scene, I am not sure what makes it so controversial. I don't consider this a spoiler because it happens in the first 5 minutes, but it involves Art killing an entire family, right? And half of those kills, because like there's a mother, a father, a son, and a daughter, and when he kills the kids, it's completely off screen. Like you see the remains of the son, but like the kill itself is still off screen. You only like hear the sound effects, right? They didn't actually show the kid being butchered on the screen. So it makes me wonder, like, well, if they lost funding because they saw the remains, then how come movies such as like the It films actually show Pennywise eating the kids on screen, right? Like they showed Georgie getting his arm bitten off in the opening of the first one, and then they showed Pennywise kill, I believe, not only one but 2 kids in the second film. So again, I don't know. It just annoys me that like the stuff in It and It Chapter 2 are okay, but apparently Terrifier is not. So I don't know. Onto like an actual negative that I have with this film. This one's actually kind of a little bit of a nitpick, but they don't show. Sorry, I'll get to this in a minute. But like the kills themselves, not a lot of them are like very Christmas related. I mean, yes, there is a scene where Art is decorating a Christmas tree in the exact way that you'd imagine him doing it. But like the kills themselves, they're not really related to Christmas. Like, he doesn't strangle somebody with Christmas lights or like sticks a Christmas star into somebody's eye. Like, none of that. And to me, like, since the movie is a Christmas horror film and a Christmas slasher at that, I was kind of hoping that he would use like Christmas or winter themed weapons for some of the kills. So I was a little bit disappointed by that. Now an actual nitpick that I have is, so in the trailer, Sienna is talking about how like they need to go back to the Terrifier and grab the sword that she used to cut off Art's head, right? And the reason why I mentioned this at the end of this video is because, well, they don't actually show her going. She just talks about it, and then like a couple scenes later, she comes back with a huge box, which you know has the sword in it. And maybe the movie will have dragged on a little bit, but I kind of wish that they showed her actually going back to the Terrifier ride. And I don't know, maybe it just wasn't in the budget, or like it just wasn't written out for that, but I kind of wish that it didn't just jump from her talking about going to like already coming back from going to it, right? But anyway, that's just me. All in all, like, the movie was great. I mean, I hope this gets released in December because I want to watch this for Christmas time. But anyway, that's all there is for this video. You guys have a good one, and as Damien Leone said to me during Nightmare Weekend, stay terrified.